This is your Barbados Today evening news update for Monday, December the 4th. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. Vice-Chancellor of the University of the West Indies, Sir Hilary Beckles, is not joining those condemning the defacing of the Lord Nelson statue last week. In fact, in a strong statement issued today, he said it could be viewed as an act of patriotic duty. The leading academic explained that Barbados should have completed efforts by former Prime Minister Errol Barrow, who made it clear from the outset that Nelson was no hero to the Barbadian people and there was no reason to publicly revere him in the country. He lamented that Barrow's vision was not taken to its next logical step, and the defacing of the statue in fact embraces Barrow's rejection of the monument. Sir Hilary also pointed out that on October the 13th, the CARICOM Reparations Committee met and agreed that it would formally call on all CARICOM member states to remove all statues and memorials dedicated to people who aided, abetted, or committed crimes against humanity. The Commission has instead recommended that statues like Lord Nelson be placed in museums or other appropriate places. Now, he maintains that Nelson, who was involved in crimes of genocide and slavery, should be celebrated and revered by the descendants of survivors of genocide in Barbados to be tried in absentia for crimes against humanity. The Erdeston Teachers Training College has honored 8 stalwarts in the field of education who contributed to building that institution's reputation by naming newly renovated facilities on the campus after them. During the renaming ceremony, which took place at the college today, Minister of Education Ronald Jones shared some anecdotes about his experiences with all 8 of the honorees when he was a student there many years ago, and called on teachers to remember their role in ensuring every student lives up to his or her potential.
This must continue. Current and future generations demand that our education system and those who make it work continue to give of their best to the young people of this country. Continue to hold their hands really of those who don't know that they know so much. Their hands must be held. Those who have exited the system without appropriate qualification should not give up, because somewhere out there there's a teacher willing and able to change their lives by bringing them back into a system so that they too can learn and be part of the modern world.
The educators honored included Dr. Chamberlain Colin Hope, Maureen Lucas, Glenville Blackman, Lloyd Wood, Errol Best, Veer DePisa, Dorothy King, and Adrian Curtin. One of the honorees, Maureen Lucas, who served as principal between 1994 and 2000, said they were merely doing their jobs when they came to the college as instructors and never expected this type of recognition.
I am sure that when the 8 of us walked up those steps of that main building to work here at Erdeston College, none of us had any thoughts of seeking to achieve any acclaim for our work. We never had such aspirations. Rather, our concentration was on the thousands of young men and women whom we taught. Our focus was simply on ensuring that the young people of Barbados were being taught by highly skilled teachers, second to none anywhere.
The Minister of Education did not disclose how much the renovations cost, only saying it was millions of dollars, but stated that more upgrades were coming to the college with 2 projects slated to commence next year. In sports now, Barbados will host the 2nd test of the International Home Series between the West Indies and Sri Lanka next year. The 2 sides will face off in 3 tests next June. The Barbados test will take place on June 14th to June 18th. Prior to that, the West Indies and Sri Lanka will play a tour match at the Brian Lara Cricket Ground in Trinidad and Tobago, and then the first test at the Queen's Park Oval. The final test will be played at the Darren Sammy Cricket Ground on June 23rd to 27th. In more sports news, print legend Usain Leo Bolt has been immortalized in bronze with the unveiling of an 8-foot statue at Jamaica's National Stadium, depicting his trademark to the world stance. Bolt said he was at a loss for words after listening to tributes from Warren Blake, president of the Jamaica Athletics Administrative Association, Victor Lopez, president of the North American, Central American, and Caribbean Association of Athletics, Sebastian Coe, president of the International Association of Athletics Federation via video, and Sports Minister Olivia Grange. Now, Jamaican Prime Minister Andrew Holness reminded the athlete that the country owed him a lot for the branding capital he had given to the country. In response, Bolt made it clear that he was still in awe of his accomplishments, which he hopes will inspire others.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To the region now, St. Lucia's Prime Minister Alan Chastanet is not happy with the country's murder rate, but he insists that overall crime rate is not up. Speaking at today's weekly press briefing, Chastanet maintains his government has been working to arrest the vexing problem. And on the international front, Britain and the European Union failed to reach a highly anticipated Brexit deal today, despite significant progress on key outstanding issues. Now, negotiators had earlier appeared close to reaching an agreement on the Irish border, which has been a major stumbling block. But after details of the draft deal were leaked, the Democratic Unionist Party, a small but hardline grouping from the Northern Ireland that props up the minority government of British Prime Minister Theresa May, said they would not support it. CNN explores the contentious issues surrounding the Irish border.
This right here is the border between the north of Ireland on this side of the road and the south of Ireland on this side of the road. The road here is quite literally the border. There's no razor wire, there's no check posts, there's no customs posts here. There is in total between north and south about 310 miles of border, and it is crisscrossed by about 300 to 400 different roads. But Brexit could bring a change to all of that, because Theresa May, the British Prime Minister, has said that Brexit means leaving the European Union, leaving the single market, which throws open the question of what happens to this border. 20 years ago, this used to be an army base here, the border just along the road there. And it was one of many army bases that controlled the border. A lot of those little lanes that we were looking at there, they were blocked off, couldn't be used. That building over there, the army used to use that for checking the vehicles, a sort of customs post, if you like. But now, since the Good Friday Peace Agreement that ended the violence, ended the need for the army, this road here, it's opened up again, back to business, if you will. And there's a real economic benefit going on here. This town is beginning to thrive again. Today, border crossings like this one on the main highway have never been so busy. More than 1 million vehicles a month crossing over all these borders. $1.5 billion worth of trade between Britain and the Republic of Ireland. No one wants to lose this economic benefit of an open border. The Irish government says that the border should not become hard. The British government, with this negotiation, is in a very difficult position right now. The European Union supports the Irish government. The borders, they want them open for trade.
That's news and sports, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook. We are also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic evening.